Hello my friends, I'm Daniel Talley, the Note to Self guy, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting me today. Now this is not a political channel, but sometimes I do talk about current events. And like many of you, I've been watching the George Floyd trial. And I have to tell you, this has been very difficult for me to watch. Basically, Derek Chauvin is on trial for the killing of George Floyd. Now, America, this is an opportunity for us to get this thing right. Will justice prevail? The vast majority of police officers out there are outstanding officers. They deserve our respect and admiration. However, there are a few bad actors out there, and I believe Officer Derek Chauvin is one of those bad actors. Listen, after they got George Floyd out of the car and he was subdued onto the ground, Officer Derek Chauvin took his knee and put his knee on that man's neck for about 9 minutes. That is utterly ridiculous and makes absolutely no sense for a man who was already on the ground, pleading for his life, asking for his mother, telling the officer that he could not breathe. The man was already subdued. What threat was he at that particular point? I just don't understand why he continued to torture the man by putting his knee on the man's neck. Now I have to tell you, if you've ever been choked before, or if you know anything about the aspect of choking with using your arms, now obviously the arms can do some damage to the windpipe, but a person's legs are much stronger than their arms. So if you watch the videotape, you can see Officer Chauvin not only putting his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, but you can see that he was shifting his weight as to put more weight onto the man's neck. Now, you don't have to be a genius to figure out the fact that our legs are stronger than our arms. So that was a tremendous amount of weight being placed on that man's neck. He had his knee, y'all, on the man's neck for about 9 minutes. Do you know how long 9 minutes is? I tell you what, let's try a little experiment. Get down on one knee and time yourself. Stay on one knee for 9 minutes, and then you will understand exactly how long 9 minutes is. Hey, if you like the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to show me some love by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so the next time I do a video, you'll be notified. Now, many people would argue, hey, George Floyd had it coming. George Floyd had a criminal background, and George Floyd was up under the influence. Clearly he was a criminal because, the cops were there because he was passing off, or that, he had a fake $20 bill in his possession. For those of you who feel that way, I ask you to do one thing. Take a moment and close your eyes. Now, what if George Floyd was your father, your brother, your uncle, your nephew? What if he was your best friend? In fact, what if you were George Floyd? Would it make a difference then? The man lost his life unnecessarily. To those of you who feel that way, I say to you, where's your humanity? Where's your love for your fellow brother? Where's your compassion? It doesn't take a genius to realize that that man was basically executed for the world to see. Executed. Why can't the world understand why Black Lives Matter? Let me explain something to you. I'm black, no surprise. And guess what? I've been black all my life, all 54 years of it. And I have to tell you, it is difficult being a black man in this country. And I get it. Unless you're black, you cannot truly understand what it's like to live in this type of skin. No different than I can understand what it's like for a woman to give childbirth. Guess what? I'm not a woman, so therefore I can never truly understand it. The best thing I can do is to listen to her to try to understand what that pain feels like, to understand the whole process of giving birth. But I have to have an attentive ear to be able to do that. People, what I got to get you to understand is simply this. We are all God's children. God loves us all. Truly, everybody's lives matter. But the people who seem to be getting the short end of the stick are people of color, but more specifically, people who look like me. So, I created a video, and the video is entitled, "Attention All White People." Now, I know that title may sound a little bit divisive, but really it is a message of love. In this video, what I am explaining is I am explaining my truth, my journey, my experience of racism in this country. It is, as I said, it is a message of love, and all I'm saying is that if you were me, how would you feel? If you really want to understand what it's like to be black, or to know what this term Black Lives Matter really means, please watch this video and watch it to the end, because I share with you some things that are very, very personal. And quite frankly, a lot of my friends who know me very well, they don't even realize some of the stuff that happened to me. It's an opportunity for us to learn and for us to grow from my experience. At the end of the day, y'all, the message is quite clear. We are all God's children. God loves us all. All our lives matter. We should be treating each other with respect. We should try our very best to live in peace with everybody. If you think about it, most of the problems we have in this world is centered on the fact that we are not showing love for our brothers and sisters. All this racism, all this hate, all of the greed, all of the poverty, all these things stem from the fact that we are not showing each other love. God was very clear. In the Bible, he tells us to love our brother, not once, not twice, but hundreds of times. There are variations of him telling us, hey, people, love your brother. There is a reason for that, people. There's a reason why we should be loving one another. I'm tired of turning on the news and seeing somebody getting killed or somebody of any race, black, white, Chinese, or whatever the case may be. I am sick and tired of seeing people being treated poorly. Aren't you tired of it? Now, as I said, America has a chance to get this thing right this time. But the question still remains, will justice prevail? Now, I got news for you. God is nobody's fool. One way or the other, justice will prevail. Whatever we put into the world, we get back. There's no question about that. We reap what we sow. So why don't we sow some good things so we can get some good things back? You guys take care of each other and be blessed.